Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Cedar Park, Texas, near Austin, looking at another gorgeous luxury home. And this time, we're at a model home by Toll Brothers, and I'm excited to present this gorgeous property to you. Now, starting on the exterior, we have that modern elevation. You have the tan stucco along with the natural stone on the exterior. Now, if you are a long-term viewer of the channel, you know, oftentimes we'll bring a model home to the channel, and in this case the garage is maybe used as a sales office or a design center, but we'll certainly see the rest of the property. Now, you do have the lush landscaping, which of course, if you've seen Toll Brothers on this channel before, you know they never disappoint. Now, going into our covered front porch, look at the soaring ceilings in here, and I love this because where it leads to, I think you may be impressed. Look at this. Oh my goodness. So you have a large courtyard right over here, perfect for entertaining your guests, but you still have the privacy that you folks want. Now, this will be a single car garage bay in an inventory home, or if you were to build from scratch. So you could use that, and then of course the additional garage is straight ahead. But the stucco continues this way. One thing I know you certainly may be happy about is you have these sliders leading out here to the courtyard. But if you didn't want to use that, of course you can use the massive front door or that quick access door straight ahead. Now, I want to preface this by saying this is a model home, so a lot of these features inside of this property may or may not be upgrades. So I always say, you know, ask for additional information, so that way you're definitely not misled. But hope you love this courtyard just as much as I do. Now, you do have the white oak wood clad ceilings right there. You see that? Look at how beautiful that is, that neutral color palette, and it really complements the tan stucco as well. And then I'll turn you around here. You got this iron front door with the transom window right above, and then you will notice the exposed beam. So we don't see that often, especially on the exterior of the home is the exposed beam. So I know you can appreciate that, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get you inside this beautiful property. Okay, so as always, I'll turn you around real quick so you can see the front door from the inside. Okay, so you have the two-story foyer right when you walk in. Beautiful light fixtures, you got two of those, and then you will notice some accent walls throughout the home. And then goodness gracious, this is probably the 15th or 20th time we've seen Toll Brothers on this channel, so you can really go back through the catalog and see how great of a job they do with their model homes. Okay, so now continuing this way, you have ceramic tile, but look how fascinating this is. You got the massive ceilings inside of your study, comfort ceiling as well, beautiful chandelier hanging down, and then you got plenty of built-ins. So you will notice some painted trim throughout the home, you know, along the windows. You got your floating shelving right there. Then you got the white oak wood accent wall right there, and that's continuing all the way to the ceiling. You have that floating cabinetry and drawers. And of course, some of this may or may not be too much for you to actually envision yourself living here. So if that is the case, it's always nice to take a look at some of the inventory homes that are either vacant or moderately decorated. Okay, so right here, of course, you got your powder bath, you got your Kohler vanity, and you will notice some brass throughout the home as well. Beautiful light fixture. As you can see, the ceramic tile continues that way, but look how beautiful that white oak looks continuing up there. So you will notice the accent wall. We'll get to that a little bit later on. As always, we like to take a look at the first level first, and then we'll see the second level a little bit later on. Okay, so I'll do a quick pan for you, and then we'll start in the kitchen. Okay, so now heading inside of the kitchen, you see our waterfall quartzite countertops, massive island, beautiful pendant lights hanging down. Now you do have the black flat panel cabinet doors, as you can see throughout this home. Now I know some folks may or may not like it, you know, based on the comments that I read and the feedback. I know some folks may like that light neutral color but it's still complemented pretty well. Now, we already got our built-in, dishwasher, stainless steel. You got your double oven right behind me. We'll see that in just a second. And then your wooden range hood right there. So like I said, the continuation of the brass hardware, as you can see. And here you got the soft close mechanism, tile floors. Now let me know in the comments, do you like tile or would you prefer, light wood floors, that white oak, European white oak throughout the home? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, so now you do have the sink inside of the island, but you have the exposed beams overlooking the great room right there. And if you know anything about Toll Brothers, you know they love the glass panes in the doors, especially for the closets, pantries, things like that. Now it is locked, but good thing there is a nice little window so you can see all the shelving. It even continues around that way. Of course, that's right underneath the staircase. Love that. Now you have the Jin Air appliances. You got a spice rack right over here. And look at that, our built-in microwave. Now what's neat is look how massive your dining area is. So again, you have the exposed wooden beams running in here as well. Shiplap wall, floating shelving with that LED illuminating. And then you got your beverage fridge right down here. You use that as like a wine cooler. You have quartz countertops in here, but of course, for the island, we have quartzite. You got your massive picture windows, some additional sliders overlooking or leading to your backyard patio. But look how beautiful that modern light fixture is right above our dining room table. This additional counter space you can take advantage of, like that dry bar. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue, not waste any more time. So now you see the shiplap ceiling with the exposed beam, but then you have recessed lights inside of here. You got those massive sliders, 8 foot, as you can see. So you can open that all the way up, have that indoor, outdoor living, and then even looking over there at the courtyard. So you talk about, with this being 4,700 plus square feet, you can see where a lot of the room, or at least the square footage, is being utilized. So you got your modern sconces. Now, you have that sleek electric fireplace right there. Look at that. And then floor to ceiling tiling that continues all the way upwards. Okay, now before we continue, let's go ahead and show you this angle. I don't want to miss anything. Hopefully this gives you the best grasp of the model. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue right around here. Now you got your coat closet right there with the glass panes, an additional bar area, quartz countertops, that light, custom cabinets in here, and then your floating shelving. Now this would be leading to that garage right there that I talked about. I always like to see if it is open. A lot of these doors are locked just for safety reasons. But here is our utility room. Massive washer and dryer. Your farmhouse sink right here. Look at that. And then you got the black cabinet doors with the brass again. So extremely spacious. You got a folding counter straight ahead over here. And look at all the storage that you have to take advantage of. Okay, so we've seen that area, seen the great room, kitchen, all that. Now let's start over here to our first bedroom. So you see the white oak floors continues in here, but look at that. You got your pendant lights right above your nightstands. You got a queen bed straight ahead, that accent wall, floor to ceiling. And look how roomy it is. So a ton of breathing rooms. And it's cool too, if you've been in the model homes at Toll Brothers, they have the built-in speakers throughout the entire home. So you're just listening to some nice jazz, relaxing, and it just creates that perfect ambiance. Okay, now heading inside of our ensuite, again, you see we have our gold sconces, quartz countertops. You got the light gray cabinets and the shaker style and then a walk-in shower. Now this one's gonna have the herringbone pattern shower surround straight ahead, but then you have the matte black shower head and shower niche. And then this is gonna be your walk-in closet. So you're gonna have the closet, bathroom combination. You have carpet in here. I know I may get some pushback about the carpet because especially, you know, as we're halfway through the year of 2025, I think folks are not liking carpet as much, especially in some of these price points, you know, depending on your personal preference. Now, right before we head to the primary suite, you see that we have an additional storage closet right there. And let's see how we're looking. Okay. So you see we have our tray ceilings in here. Look how much cabinetry you have on this side. You got your built-ins ready to go, some additional shelving. First time I've seen that. Let me know what you think about that. It's a pretty neat feature. You may not need that many, you know, built-ins in here, but if you wanted to exclude the dresser, not have to worry about that, then maybe that might make sense for you. You got your modern light fixture hanging down again, and then you got some wood paneling on the ceiling as well. And like I said, you know, Toll Brothers never fails to disappoint. Even some of the model homes that folks have talked about and said that weren't their, you know, absolute favorite, they still gave it an 8.5, 9, sometimes even a 10. So now you see the same overlaid cabinetry inside of here, but you have your dual sinks. Got some tiling accents right back there. Massive freestanding tub. And if you know anything about Toll Brothers, again, you know they're going to have their signature towels in here. Love that. But you got your privacy glass straight ahead. The porcelain tile that's going to continue up this lower exterior here, and then floor to ceiling right behind the soaker tub. And let's turn you around. I want to be cautious of not spinning you too much because I know how that experience is. Pretty spacious, zero threshold, but you got a little lip right there. And then your built-in shower bench here. But very spacious and roomy. You got your rain shower head right above there. Gold fixtures. Pretty impressive. Okay, now continue. Got your water closet here to the left. Now let's see how spacious our walk-in closet is. Now, you know, I talk about that oftentimes. Some additional shelving towards, you know, the ceiling. So that way you can store all the additional clothes that you may need, especially for a primary closet. Because if it's only going to have one, the least you need, you know, some additional shelving and some rods, but not bad. And you got a full body mirror here. Okay. So it looks like we've seen the entire first level so far. Let me just verify one more time. Yep, we sure did. Now let's go ahead and head to the second level. So right now, this one's being built on a 90-foot wide lot. So there's some additional lots available right now to build. And of course, there is an inventory home for this particular model right now for a little bit above 1.6, closer to 1.7. Okay, now as always, once we get up here to the loft area, let's overlook downstairs foyer. You know, and I've been changing up quite often that foyer. Anytime I say foyer, I get in trouble in the comments. Okay, so we'll continue straight ahead. Let's work our way around the perimeter. So we'll see this bedroom first and foremost. You head inside of here. I love that we have additional space on this side. And then look how roomy it is. So a ton of room to work with in here. Queen size bed, your 2 nightstands. Look at that. You got some cassette tapes up there, as you can see. White oak cabinets. And then this one's going to have that ensuite as well. So you got your shower tub combo, as you can see here. Quartz countertops. Now in here, you got the ceramic wood-like tile as well. But this is going to have that shower or the bathroom closet combination. So now we'll go ahead and continue around. This one's going to be a shared bathroom right here. So between, the common areas or the game room, but you still have the quartz countertops, the hexagon tiling in here. Then you got the matte black as well. So this is going to be the floor to ceiling tiling in our shower surround, and look how spacious this room is too. So again, your queen size bed, your massive nightstands, white oak floors, and then our walk-in closet. So I say this, every few videos or so. Let me know, do you prefer the closet inside of the bathroom, so like that combination, or do you like the separation between the two? And then you got your glass pane right over there. So let's head inside of our game room. So you see that you got the vaulted ceiling, the accent wall again, painted. So neutral color palette, shiplap ceiling right up there. The white oak exposed beam, as you can see. And then again, your built-ins right here. Look at that. So extremely spacious and open, perfect for entertaining. And wait till you see the theater room, which is straight ahead. Just a second. And then right over here, you got a storage closet. So in this one, it's not the see-through glass, more of that privacy glass. So depending on what your personal preference is, you can go to the design center and pick what you like best. Well, that's going to be additional storage. It is locked, but I tried. You can't say I didn't. So now heading inside of our media room. So again, you have a window right there, but if you wanted to create this as the theater room, exclude all the windows, have that nice dim ambiance, you can certainly do that. But it really just depends on your personal preference. But look how spacious it is. You see our accent walls again, modern sconces. The perfect place to watch a nice, good movie. Okay, so we've seen the entire home, it looks like. And then, this plan in particular, you see that there was 4 bedrooms, but you could add a 5th bedroom if you, preferred. I know a lot of folks are opting for that 5th bedroom, even just, for resale value down the road. But now let's go ahead and take a look at the backyard. And then again, you see these massive picture windows bringing in all that sunlight. And this one has some major similarities to a couple other plans that we've seen, but there are just some slight nuances that make the plan a little bit different. And it depends on the region, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind too. So let's go ahead and head out here. You see the brick exterior continues here, but again, that light wood straight ahead, really nice. I think we're going to start seeing that even more often heading into 2026, especially for the ceiling and the flooring. But now, heading back here, you see you have sliders inside of the dining area, sliders in the great room. Love the sliding doors. Okay, now you have recessed lights here. You got dual ceiling fans. And then look at that. You see those Rasmussen fireballs. And look at that. You got an extension over here. So nice little infinity fountain. Looks like you can have some guests inside of here. You got your built-in benches there. It looks like a fountain, but it's actually a little spa area. And I see some jets, it looks like. But now, again, this is a 90-foot wide lot. So you see the space that you have. Look at that. You got cornhole straight ahead. I love the stacked stone around the HVAC there. And then even some continuation right here. Look at that. Really beautiful features. Now you see some turf down here. But if you want to entertain, I tell you what, you have folks inside of the courtroom, or the courtyard rather. You can go ahead and bring them back here. You got that stacked stone, built-in Coyote grill. Now the model home is not for sale, but I always say if it's something where you love the lot, you love the model home, and you're not in a hurry to buy, sometimes they may be, putting it up for sale 6 months, a year, 5 years. So it's always best to ask as well. But you can see the width here. Now some folks want that depth, and if that's the case, then you can always look at other lot options for yourself. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful model home by Toll Brothers right here in Cedar Park, Texas. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular home. Is this something you could see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.